Hey, it's Alexandria, the care girl. I am coming on to talk briefly about some issues that care operators run into when family members delay the start of care, and how you can actually combat starting care, right? I think that there is not enough sense of urgency when it comes to families actually giving the care and get like ordering the care that they need, if that makes sense. Hold on, not ordering the care, but getting the care that they need from a company like my company, right? So for those who don't know me, I have a home care company in Georgia. We are state licensed, and we help disabled children and adults who need help in the home, elderly, and also pediatric from 0 to 100, right? So what I see, and I've been in home care over a decade, I say this all the time because it's not everybody knows me. So I see a lot of times people calling and they ask for care, but when they find out the price of care, then they can't afford the care. So what they do is they delay the start of care. So the next call that I get is grandma fell, or she had a stroke, or it's to the point where I had to make this video because I'm seeing this a lot where families are not taking the care of their loved ones seriously enough, and it bothers me, right? Because I'm the care girl. So this is what I want people to really understand. If you don't get a professional in the home, when you call a company like mine, we have a registered nurse that comes out to the home, assesses the individual that needs care, right? This is somebody who has probably worked in an ICU. This is somebody who has worked in home health, and they actually can see different conditions that you, as the family member who is not professionally medically trained at all, can see. So that assessment will tell us what type of care they need. Not only that, I see a lot of families that don't take their loved ones to the doctor. So grandma has had memory problems for 10 years. 5-10 years. Now it's worse. Now we want to get help. So not only are we not really taking serious the conditions of the elderly and our loved ones, we are also delaying the start of care. So when it's time to get taken care of, the only option that you actually can afford is a nursing home, which is the very worst thing. Let me break it down, layman's terms. So if you see someone that has a newborn baby, and I used this before, if you see someone who has a newborn baby, they are not going to delay the start of care. If they have to go to work, they're going to read every review. They're going to read every review in the book in order to understand if this is a good daycare, if this is a good nanny, if this is a good home daycare for my newborn baby to go into, right? Because their life is so important. So why is that attention not on an elderly loved member or a special needs child? I don't get it. We take care of the newborn babies, but essentially your elderly loved one or family member turns back into a child. It's depending on the condition that they have. If they have Alzheimer's, they eventually, lose function of their memory, of course. They lose function of their bodily functions. So I think that there is a disconnect between when they need care. So let me give you an example of when they need care. They need care when they can no longer cook on their own, when they can no longer pay their own bills, when they can no longer walk and do their daily function, use the bathroom, right? And I think that we all need to have the conversations earlier with our parents. Hey, what does your retirement plan look like? Hey, do you have long-term care insurance? Do you have funds that we can pull just in case something happens God forbid, cancer diagnosis, stage 4, stroke, right? I mean, when a stroke happens, that person could be, have aphasia where they can't talk, right? So what are you going to do? I think it's time to start putting care plans in place for just in case. And then that way, hey, this is the plan that we have to take care of grandma. Oh, this is the plan that we have to take care of mom and dad. Because I understand how inconvenient it is to take care of someone else, right? But these people took care of us. So why aren't we reading every review? Why aren't we actually finding the care companies in the area if we're not in the same city of that parent or that grandparent in order for it to take care of them? And we're just like, oh, she'll be all right. Then next thing you know, you call me, SpongeBob voice, 3 months later, and then there has a fall, and then you're rushing us to bring you a caregiver when in the first place you should have had a caregiver in place. That makes no sense at all. That makes no sense at all to me. So I had a call today where I have a caregiver in place, and the family. I had a call today where I have a caregiver in place, and the family says, "Hey, we have a family friend that's coming to help as well." And a lot of times people do this because they want to alleviate the care company because of the cost. And this is what happens when you bring in a family member that's not experienced, that does not know anything about caring for another one. And I'm not talking about a family member that could possibly be a nurse or who was a CNA, but if we have created a tailored, dedicated care plan for a loved one, and you bring an outsider in, they don't know what to do. When she gets up and falls, which happened last week, not on our watch, it was someone else's watch, which was a friend. What happens is it interrupts the care continuum, right? It interrupts our pattern, it interrupts the routine, and then of course they could be hurt. So that's very serious, and I don't think that families understand. All they want to do is free care, cheap care, or no care. That makes no sense. So even your employers, some employers, they have a plan where you can you can have elder care paid for by someone else. So I think that we need to look into those employer from those employee plans. Sorry about that. So I think that I may come up with some type of guide or something for families who, hey, you have an aging loved one. You have a mother 55 or older, you need to be thinking about this. You have a father 55 and older, you need to be thinking about this. What about an emergency? It's time to start really planning for successful care for the aging family members that we have, because ideally you may end up having them in your home, especially if you don't plan. So that is my TED Talk for the week. I hope y'all have a very blessed hump day.